Why are so many dogs struggling with health issues and even dying too soon? World-famous actress and passionate animal advocate Katherine Heigl says the answer may be hiding right inside your dog's food bowl. She reveals that the way most kibble and canned foods are cooked can release harmful compounds that may trigger problems like stiff joints, itchy skin, bad breath, and even those dreaded mushy poops. But here's the exciting part. Heigl and her team say they have discovered canine superfoods. Simple foods and herbs that could help transform your dog's health, from smoother digestion to fresher breath to more energy and mobility. And she's sharing exactly what every dog owner needs to know in a free, short video. If your dog licks their paws, eats grass, has tummy troubles, or just isn't acting like they used to, you need to see this. Watch Katherine Heigl's free video now at undertowpet.com. That's undertowpet.com. Your dog's health will thank you.
Welcome back to Undertow, Realm's podcast of the weird and the wicked. I'm your host, Fred Greenhalgh, here for a haunting original one-man audio play by the legendary Mac Rogers. If you're not familiar with Mac Rogers, well, go put this episode on pause and check out his previous work, things like The Message, Life After, Give Me Away, and franchise projects like Audible's Are You Afraid of the Dark audio reboot and the audio adaptation of Witness. He also contributed to Star Trek Con, the epic Star Trek audio drama I directed, which just finished releasing. And on the spooky side, he was a contributing writer to Undertow's Season 6, The Sisters. Today's story, Home After Midnight, is a surreal waking nightmare about a man who stumbles in drunk to his apartment one night only to find things are not what they seem. It's performed by Nate Dufort, a voice actor often heard in commercials, games, and podcasts, as well as serving as producer on shows like Unspookable and Reach, the space podcast for kids. Today's story is decidedly not for kids. Prepare to get uncomfortable as we come home after midnight.
When I walk into my apartment and see the strange man in my living room, I'm almost not surprised. It's finally happened, I think. I'm too late. Marissa's moved on. Because I know Marissa. She's never going to have a fling or sneak around. It's just not in her DNA. If there's a new man here sitting on the sofa we've shared for so many years, it's because he's her man now. She found someone else. This feeling's reinforced when the man starts yelling at me, almost bellowing. It's as if he's outraged that I've barged into his home, which only makes sense if this really is his home now. If he lives here, with Marissa. Except, there's something strange about the way he's yelling at me. Bear in mind, I'm still standing in the apartment doorway. The knob's still warm and wet in my hand, and he's on the sofa about 6 long strides away. Marissa's in my apartment is small. The outer door opens into a living room with a kitchenette tucked into one corner, and apart from the bedroom and bathroom, that's it. We've been planning to look for something bigger as soon as I can find regular work, but the point is, it's small. Even if he was whispering, I should be able to hear him, but I can't. It's like he's yelling through a broken bullhorn. Of course, the problem might be me. I'm really drunk. That wasn't the plan, I swear. It's not like I had Get Hammered on my Google Calendar. The agency found me a 2-week gig doing data entry for a bank, like logging new business loans onto their internal system. The kind of work I like, where you can zone out and think about what you're going to do after. I actually asked if there was any way they could use me beyond the 2 weeks, but they said they were onboarding some kind of new model that could enter the info by itself, so today would definitely be my last day. Which is like, you can't just finish a gig and go straight home. Does that not sound depressing to you? I think back to when we did plays, me and Marissa, when we did improv. You didn't just go to bed after a show. It has to be some kind of catharsis. You have to celebrate. Wait, why is the doorknob warm? Why is it wet? And the bar was in our neighborhood too, on the corner, right when you come down from the train platform, like 4 blocks from our apartment. It was like 6:45 when I walked in. There was no way I could anticipate I'd be there past midnight. I texted Marissa on my way in. Just stopping off, be home soon. Found it's generally best to be vague like that. If I say I'm grabbing a few drinks at Connell's, then suddenly it's a whole thing. And it doesn't need to be a whole thing. I'll have a couple drinks, a couple jokes with Steve and Claudia and Mike behind the bar, be home by 8 and spend the rest of the evening with my girlfriend. That's normal. That's how normal people live. I don't want to touch the doorknob anymore. I step in and close the door behind me. The man on the sofa is still yelling, but his voice is fading, like someone turned down his volume. It's weird that he's sitting down, right? If he's so angry I'm here, why isn't he standing up? Why isn't he in my face? This question is quickly obliterated by another. If Marissa's moved on, if this is her new guy, when did that happen exactly? We were a couple this morning. Maybe not a happy couple, but a couple. She couldn't have found a whole new partner in, what? She left for work around 7. It's after midnight now. In the last 17 hours? Who is this guy? Of course, Steve and Claudia were there when I walked into Connell's. They're always there. They basically live on those bar stools. But still, it's cool to have people you can immediately start bantering with once you walk in the door. I mean, Steve and Claudia are nowhere near as funny as Marissa and my crowd from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but you know what? Fuck those guys. They're the ones who moved to LA or had kids and stopped texting me back. Steve and Claudia are here. But what really kept me at Connell so late was the improv kids. I wasn't watching my phone, but I think they rolled in about an hour after I did and sat at a table within earshot. During a lull in my conversation with Steve and Claudia, there's lots of lulls with Steve and Claudia, I overheard a couple of them talking about improv classes, which for me is like a starting gun. I don't remember the transition from talking to Steve and Claudia to talking to the kids, just that I was suddenly standing over their booth telling stories about the people I was in improv class with back in the day. And for a while, they were loving it. Oh, you knew X? What was Y like? You knew Z? We were just talking about her speech at the Emmys. And this is where the problem comes in. I never know exactly how long to talk to people. You want it to be just long enough that when you leave the conversation, they're like, what a cool guy. But I never seem to nail it. I don't remember exactly when the look in their eyes changed, exactly when they started leaning away from me and exchanging looks, exactly when they realized why I wasn't living in LA winning Emmys with my old friends, instead of just standing here on a Friday night, clutching a Long Island iced tea and talking to 20-year-olds about stuff that happened 15 years ago. I can barely hear the guy on the sofa now. His mouth is still moving, but it's like it's getting weaker somehow, going slack. And there's something off about him. I can't tell what, but I know it's staring me in the face. You know you've overstayed your welcome when Claudia's the one steering you away. When fucking Claudia is the one saying, maybe let the kids talk among themselves. It sobered me up enough to check my phone, and just above the 3 texts and 2 missed calls from Marissa was the time. 12:03 a.m. When did 4 hours go by? How is that possible? Somewhere beneath the cocktail haze, I felt the panic worming through me. Because the thing is, Marissa has stuck with me for so long. She's believed me every time I said I was gonna. But something's been different lately. She's been seeming so, I guess you'd say, tired. Like when I say things to her, they make her tired. I almost couldn't look at the text, like I can't bear to see the steadily increasing anger, but I read the most recent one anyway. Just tell me you're alive, and then you can do what you want. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. I settled up with Mike, trying not to think how big a chunk it was out of what I'd earned in the last 2 weeks. And I ran home. Well, not ran. There's only so fast you can go when you're that blitz, but home was only 4 blocks away. Now, I could do it blindfolded. But halfway there, things somehow got weird. You ever had one of those things where you're doing a multi-step activity and you suddenly forget which step you're on? I knew I was supposed to take a right turn to get to our building, but partway down this dark city block, I realized I couldn't remember if I took that right turn. Nothing was familiar. I couldn't see the landmarks that would tell me if I'd gone too far. I was just on the edge of panic, of actually shouting for help, which would have gone over great after midnight, I'm sure, when I realized I was somehow standing right next to Marissa in my building. I've heard of stuff like this. I've heard there's a survival mechanism that kicks in when you're blackout drunk, where people don't remember getting home and unlocking their door and entering the exact right code in the burglar alarm or whatever, so maybe that's what happened to me. Even now, standing in my living room with the guy on the couch, what's wrong with this guy? I can almost see it. I can't remember coming in from the street. I remember approaching our building and the outer door, sort of, warmly admitting me into the lobby. It was definitely our building. I recognized the mail slots, even if the names on them were kind of blurred, but that was probably just me. Except, I also don't remember riding up to this floor. I don't remember hitting the 4 button and waiting forever for our ancient narrow elevator to get off its ass. I remember stumbling toward the elevator and hearing it somehow. Sigh. Not like a weary sigh, but like a sigh of exertion. And then it was like things were moving in front of me, or maybe it was me that was moving. I was pissed drunk. And then there was my apartment door. And I must have taken out my keys. If I hadn't, I couldn't be standing here now, watching this guy yell at me. But why aren't my keys in my hand? The strange man stops yelling. It's like he's run out of gas. And he kind of flops back on the couch and just twitches. And it's this change in position that makes me finally realize why he didn't get up when I came in. He has no legs. This guy has no legs. Or he does, but they end like 3 inches below his waist, just little wiggling stubs. Marissa left me for a guy with no legs? That doesn't seem right. No, you know what? It seems exactly right. Marissa could love a man with no legs. That's the thing about Marissa. Once she decides she loves someone, it's really hard to make her stop. It took her a decade to cut her brother out of her life when he was going down his own dark path. I kept saying to her, "He's hurting you so much. I see it every day." And she would say, "You don't give up on your people. Not ever." That's who Marissa is. Only she eventually did give up on her brother, which means she does have a breaking point. The fear that thought lances into my chest makes the relief all the sweeter 1 second later when I look across the living room past the twitching man who seems to be, that can't be right, sinking into the sofa, to the little corner kitchenette where Marissa's standing at the sink. My Marissa. "Oh, thank God," I say out loud. "Thank God you're still here." Maybe not the ideal first words to say after tottering and pissed drunk after midnight, but they're the ones that come out of my mouth. If she's still here, there's still a chance. But wait a second. Was I just thinking she'd left me for another guy? Why was I thinking that? What other guy? There's no other guy here. I guess you could say there's the shape of a guy's face pushing against the upholstery of our sofa, which is weird by itself. Why would a guy be inside our sofa? But she's not going to leave me for that. It's all going to come down to the look on her face. When Marissa looks up from whatever she's doing in the sink, that's when I'll know what I'm dealing with. If her face is wet with tears, I know what to do with that. If it's taut and quivering with rage, I know what to do with that. If it's defiant like the painting above the sofa, I know what to do with that. If it's relieved in kind, I know what to do with that. But if her face looks exhausted, like just wiped out the way it did when she ended things with her brother, I got nothing. I'm done for. Wait a second. The painting above the sofa. What's wrong with it? It's Marissa's painting, really. She found it in some outdoor art fair we came across one time. God, remember when we used to do that? Wake up on a Sunday, pick a direction, and just walk. How she could sometimes impulsively hug me around my chest as we walked, making us both stumble and laugh, like she felt so lucky I was there walking next to her, like she was lucky to be with me. It's a painting of a little girl practicing the violin. Marissa said she liked it because the little girl looks grumpy, that she has to stay inside and practice, but also grimly determined to get the most out of it. The set of her face, the bow in her fist, the sunlight through the window, taunting her with the knowledge of all the fun happening outside. I see it every day, but I'm not seeing it now. Painting I'm looking at now has none of those elements. No sunlight through the window, no defiant pursing of the little girl's lips. It has some of the same colors, but none of the detail. This little girl's a crude silhouette. You can barely tell she's holding a violin. Did something happen? Did it get wet? Did something get splashed on it? I turned to Marissa. She's still looking into the sink. What happened? I ask. To the painting, what happened? She doesn't budge. What's that she's looking at in the sink? I've been keeping a penitent distance, but now I feel like I have to go over to her, maybe take her elbow, say something like, "What happened to the girl, Marissa? Marissa, I'm sorry. Marissa, give me one more chance." I'm halfway across the living room when my eyes are snagged by the bookshelf. Again, our apartment is a tiny one, meaning this space has to be the living room, the kitchen, the TV room, and the study where we keep our books. And it's not like I've memorized the titles, but I see them every day. And these are wrong. Like with the painting, the colors are basically right, but the titles, the authors' names, I can't be this drunk. The letters on the book's spines are somehow degraded. At first, I think they're in another language, but it's not that. These aren't from any alphabet in the world. They're also simple and blobby and smeared. Some are just X's and O's. It's like someone erased all the words on these books and let a little kid fill them in with a black magic marker. Is there a level of drunk where letters look wrong? I feel dizzy. I feel hot. I need water. I say to Marissa's back, "Stay there. Just please stay there. I just need to splash some water on my face and then we'll talk. We'll talk about all the things I promised to talk about for so long. I need some water and I'll be right back."
Hi there, Fred here. As the weather's gotten colder, I will tell you, unabashedly, my key to staying cozy is a result of two of my favorite pieces from Quince. I alternate between a Flowknit Performance zip hoodie and a 100% Mongolian cashmere, also zip hoodie, both in black. I'm a simple man, I know, but simple is important when life is complicated, and both garments are go-tos that make me feel like I'm wrapped up in a warm blanket when the autumn winds start to blow. They layer really well with outdoor puffer jacket, which Quince also has, as well as nice base layers. And yeah, I've been a fan of Quince for a while. I've started reeling my other family members into buying from them. For example, my 13-year-old daughter is a huge fan of their Bella Stretch wide leg jeans, and for good reason. Their denim nails the fit and comfort that you want. And a piece I'm grateful for is that they do so at a fraction of the cost of what you'd expect to pay for something of this quality. And they partner with ethical factories, top artisans, and that keeps costs affordable by cutting out the middlemen. And as we start thinking about the holiday season, they have an amazing holiday gifts selection, including clothing, of course, but also housewares, bed and bath, stocking stuffers, travel accessories. So trust me, Quince will be on my short list for go-to holiday shopping ideas this year. Give and get timeless holiday staples that last this season with Quince. Go to quince.com/undertow for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's QUINCE.com/undertow. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/undertow.
The holidays are approaching, and everyone knows that this time of year, the sooner you can get things done, the better. For both shoppers and businesses, the best time to score great deals during the holidays is during that Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. And if you have your own business, whether you've been around the block a few times or this is your first year going through the holiday sale rush, the most important thing you can have is a platform that can handle everything that's about to be thrown at you. This is a crucial time for your business and your customers. And with Shopify, you can be sure that your tools and platform are ready for anything that comes your way. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names to entrepreneurs who will be participating in their first Black Friday, Cyber Monday this year. With everything else going on, you probably don't have time to spend hours poring over every little detail in your online store. That's why Shopify's thousands of templates and tools help you streamline website creation and make sure that your site isn't just aesthetically pleasing, but functional and easy to use. Shopify's expedited checkout, Shop Pay, saves customer information and reduces hassle. And the best part is that it's been proven to boost conversions, meaning you'll see less abandoned carts and more profits. You can also stress less knowing that Shopify's award-winning customer support team is on standby 24/7 to help with any issues that arise, allowing you to get back to your business as fast as possible. This Black Friday, join the thousands of new entrepreneurs hearing for the first time with Shopify. Sign up for your free trial today at shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm and make this Black Friday one to remember.
Undertow listeners, Fred here. If you're a fan of Undertow, I know you love immersive, 3D audio, and also subjecting yourself to terrifying experiences, which is why I know you're going to love Ire, a Prologue, a new first-person psychological horror game available on Steam. It's 1986, and you play Emily, a young teenage girl searching for her missing father aboard an abandoned ship lost deep within the Bermuda Triangle. Emily is trapped in a terrifying time loop and must survive 13 loops to reveal the truth of what happened to her father and the crew. The game is a love letter to 80s and 90s horror, telling a dark story from a child's perspective. I love that the game is stealth and not combat-based. You play a deadly game of hide-and-seek with a relentless monster, a monster that adapts. As you get smarter, so does it. Find and use everyday items like walkie-talkies and wind-up alarm clocks to distract and outwit the monster, find secret hiding spots and passageways, and unlock 13 mysterious doors, all while traversing a world brought to life in a haunted soundscape of 3D audio. Unravel the truth, one loop at a time. Ire, a Prologue, is available now on PC via Steam and Epic Game Store.
Now, our bathroom is as tiny as everything else in the apartment, with an entrance so low I have to duck my head, but not so tiny I wouldn't be able to see it. But for a second, I can't. For a second, the door is not where it's supposed to be. I shake my head, squeeze my eyes shut, and just as I reopen them, I hear it again. That sigh, that almost groan of effort. And once again, things are moving in front of my eyes, things so big and so close that I can't take them in. All I can make out is a sense of wet, almost muscles contorting and rearranging. Could someone have slipped me something? One of the improv kids? Mike? Why would Mike roofie me after 13 years of regular... And there it is. My bathroom door. I wobble as soon as I step into the bathroom. Well, of course I wobble. I'm shit-faced, but no, it's something else. It's like the floor's bending beneath my feet, like the tile is in some way soft. I need water. I need aspirin. I need to be able to think. I reach for the medicine cabinet, but instead of sliding, it sort of flops outward, like peeling wallpaper. At least the aspirin's there. It's definitely the right color bottle, but again, the letters on the side are crude and blotchy. I grab it anyway. Letters or no letters, I need it. But the bottle won't budge. It's somehow stuck on the medicine cabinet shelf. I pull and twist and pull, but it feels like a loose tooth that isn't ready to come out. I try to just get the lid off. Same deal. I'm sweating so bad now my t-shirt's like a second skin. I need water more than I've ever needed anything. When I turn the damp, floppy faucet, all that comes out is some kind of warm, slimy fluid, like somehow my bathroom sink is emitting saliva. It's so fucking hot in here and the sweat won't stop leaving my body. There's only one thing I need when I feel like this. The only thing that's ever worked. I lurch out of the bathroom and cross the living room fast, heading for the fridge. Marissa's still looking down into the sink, still hiding her face. I start talking fast before she can see what I'm doing. I know what you're gonna say, Riss, but I just need one. I'm having some kind of problem, like I'm having a bad reaction to I don't know what, and I just need one to settle my head. And then once I'm leveled out, we can really talk, right? It's good for both of us. I'm just gonna have one. And as I peel open the refrigerator, did the door always stick this bad? I once again hear that sigh of exertion. The vast moving shapes in front of my face. Then the interior fridge light comes on. Was it always this dim? This yellow? I could barely see the food. If Marissa's judging me, she isn't doing it out loud. She's still just staring into the sink, face turned away from me, refusing to let me know what I'm dealing with, which makes me realize I'm not going to be able to do this in the order I want. I'm not going to be able to sip my drink slowly, let the calm settle over me, and then start talking. Something tells me I don't have that kind of time. I'm going to have to multitask. I start talking while I reach for the vodka. Look, I get it, Riz. I know. I can't just say I'm going to change. I know I've said that before. And I know that with my, track record, you're going to need something more substantial from me before you'll consider what's wrong with this fucking bottle. That last part bursts out before I can stop it. I can hear how it must sound in her ears. Petulant snap of a fiend, a junkie. It's just this goddamn vodka bottle. It's stuck to the shelf on the refrigerator door and I can't pull it free. I take a deep breath and let it out. Sorry, Riz. Sorry, I didn't mean to... It's just that it's hot in here. And something was wrong with the bathroom and... Can you look at me, Marissa? Marissa, please. Please, can you look at me? But whatever's in that sink must have her riveted because she doesn't move. Forget the vodka. I'll come back to it. Let's start with the ice. I slam the refrigerator shut and reach for the freezer door just above it. This one's stuck even worse. And as I strain to get it open, I keep making my case to Marissa. I know you're thinking, why is this time different from all the other times? And I totally hear that. But sweetheart, I think I cracked it. I think I solved it. I think when I was at Connell's tonight, I found the key to the whole thing. The freezer door is still not budging. I lean back, using my body weight to pry it open while I keep talking to Marissa. What I realized is, it's not about the drinking. It's never been about the drinking. Okay, sure, that's part of it. But what I realized tonight, talking to those super young improv kids, is that the drinking was never the objective. I hear that strange sigh again. I see the moving shapes, and the freezer door opens. 3 or 4 microwave dinners, the words on their packaging, nothing more than ink blots. The ice cube tray, and next to it, that thing, what do you call it? The rectangular bucket thing you squeeze the ice cubes into once the water in the tray is frozen. I keep talking to Marissa as I reach for it. Because think about it, Riz. When did I really start drinking? Not like that college weekend shit, but real proper drinking. See? I think it was that couple of years after we moved in together, when we were most involved in improv and plays. Remember that time, right? And as I reach into the bucket to get some ice cubes, it's like 15 cold needles plunge into my arm at the same time. The pain is off the fucking charts, but only for a second. My cry of agony cuts off. I still feel the needles. Are they needles? Are they something else? But they don't hurt as bad as they did a second ago. They're more just cold, like this calming cold that's been moving up my arm. I keep talking to Marissa, but my voice is quieter now, almost dreamy. Remember what those nights were like, Riz? Or afternoons sometimes. If the show was a matinee, that one we were in together, that was a matinee, right? When we got paired together and we utterly killed it. You were the British lady, and I was your dog, and the crowd was losing their minds. The kind of laughs where it feels like they're shaking the walls. That one laugh where we had to hold for so long, we just started looking at each other like, can you believe this? That we made this, you and me, and we couldn't stop smiling? And how we go out afterwards to that beer garden a few blocks away. Those are some of my best memories, Marissa. Drifting around those picnic tables with one of those insane Bavarian beers, stumbling from one group to another, talking about the show, what worked, what didn't, who was hooking up, who was fighting, the banter, the one-upsmanship, the running jokes, never noticing when one conversation ended and the next began, and all the while checking in with each other across the courtyard, just with our eyes, like, once we're done here, I come back to you. The cold feeling is settling in now, becoming comfortable. The needles, or whatever they are, must still be there, but I can't feel them. But now, all those people are gone, Riz, I say. All the people at those picnic tables are gone to LA to win Emmys, or back to where they grew up, or to some suburb with kids. They're all gone. They went off to their lives, and I realized tonight, talking to those idiot improv kids, that's not the booze I've been chasing. It's how I felt back then. My friends are gone, so I'm trying to get the same feeling from strangers. I step back from the fridge. Something's bothering me. I definitely feel calmer since the cold needles, but something's still tickling at the back of my mind. And then I realize, after all that effort, I still don't have my drink. I was trying to get some ice cubes, but I didn't have a cup or a glass to dump them into. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, that the human body only has one arm. It makes the most basic activities impossible. But I backburner that for now. I still haven't made my case to Marissa. I slowly approach her at the sink as I come in for the landing. But tonight, Riz, what I realize tonight is I've been chasing the wrong part of that memory. I've been so busy trying to recreate the middle part, where I'm drifting through the crowd, through all those knots of banter and laughter, that I'm forgetting the beginning and the ending. When I showed up with you, and when I left with you. The journey through that crowd only mattered because it ended at you. And what I realized tonight is that's enough for me. I don't need the middle part anymore. I can just start and end with you. As I say these last words, I rest my hand on the back of her neck, touching her lightly there in a way she used to like. and she still doesn't turn. I'm badly frightened now. Why would she be hiding her face this long if it wasn't the worst-case scenario? That she's finally exhausted? That I finally took too much? Marissa? I try to turn her to face me, but it's really hard with just one arm. I try again, but she won't turn. She won't look at me. Riss, please. Fucking please. I pull her again as hard as I can, but something's wrong. Her body, her short, sturdy body that's always been such a home base for me, it feels wrong, rubbery and stiff. Her feet aren't moving. It's like they're glued to the floor. I pull again, and they won't budge. It's like trying to pull a really strong plant out of the soil. Finally, I reach out, hook my one hand under her chin, and force her face to turn my way. Moment of truth. Anything but tired. Give me anything but tired. But when her face turns to mine, what I see there is so much worse. It's like a line drawing of Marissa's face, like a caricature, interrupted halfway through, or like a 6-year-old child tried to mold her face out of clay. Eyes that look like they're glued on, 2 tiny recesses for a nose, a slack opening for a mouth. Just enough traces of Marissa to know that's what it's attempting and failing to be. This isn't Marissa. That's obvious. This is some kind of crude, hurriedly assembled facsimile. What's less obvious is why it was hurriedly assembled. A lure, maybe? To get me to come inside this warm, wet, heaving place where everything's a little bit wrong? I know I should try and take my hand away from her face, but it doesn't seem to want to come away. My mind is racing now. The books, the painting, the aspirin, the fact that I can't pick anything up, like every object is rooted to the surface beneath it. I think to coming home, walking into the lobby, how I don't remember taking the elevator, unlocking the door. And it hits me. Marissa's not the lure. The whole place is the lure. The sigh of exertion I keep hearing, that's this thing tensing its muscles, forcing them into shapes. The books, the painting, the sofa, Marissa, everything that tells me I'm home, that there's one place left in a world that's given up on me, one place I can stumble into at night and they'll let me in and hold me. Whatever this thing is, it can make itself look just like that. And now, it's like the thing knows I've figured it out. The awful interior around me is shifting, almost like it's relaxing. The books and the painting are starting to recede. I look back at the Marissa thing. She's still there, but you can see her, whatever, slowly giving up the pretense of being Marissa. Its mouth is drooped so low, so wide, and my arm is inside it past the elbow, almost to the armpit. And as I watch that crude, desultory Marissa face slurp up my arm like a noodle, a terrible thought occurs to me. A thought that's somehow worse than everything happening to me right now. The books, the painting, Marissa's face. Are they this crude because the thing can't render them any better? Or is it because this is the best it could get from my soggy, wrung-out mind? What if it looked inside me? And this is the best Marissa it could find. Did I truly love Marissa? Or did I just love the comfort of Marissa? Have I spent my life nestling contentedly in her arms, never looking up to see what was happening on her face? She's almost absorbed my arm now. And when it's gone, I'll forget it was ever there. Someone told me once, maybe at one of those beer garden afternoons, that there are 2 kinds of anesthetics. One that makes you not feel pain, and another that makes you not care about the pain. What if there's a 3rd kind? One where you don't even remember what you've lost. Suddenly the atmosphere around me changes. The mighty protean muscles tensing up again. I hear that enormous sigh of exertion as the tendons all around me tighten themselves into new shapes, new colors. A new living room. Paper posters taped to the wall. A crappy sofa with visible stains. A game system attached to an enormous TV. Whoever lives here, or the real version of here, lives by himself. A moment later, there he is, stumbling through the wet opening of the creature's towering maw, completely out of his mind. Maybe drunk, maybe something else. He's so young. He stops just inside the creature's jaws and stares at me. What is this strange man doing in his apartment? Marissa will never know what happened to me. All the things I imagined telling her will never be said. I hope she's all right. The sad thing is, she probably will be. There's only one move left. One chance to make any of it worth anything. I can save this kid's life. I can tell him to leave before it's too late. I open my mouth as wide as I can and...
And that was Home After Midnight, written by Mac Rogers, performed by Nate Dufort, sound design by yours truly, who also contributed the voice of the Screaming Man, one of our specialties, music by Blue Dot Sessions. Home After Midnight is a Dagaz Media production for Undertow. I hope you enjoyed that haunting little tale, and take the reminder, if you've got something to confess to a loved one, do it now before you're sucked into the maw of a hungry, flesh-eating soul monster. And not to fear, we are not finished with our familiar haunts. Next week, stay tuned for a bloody confession in the life of Renfield. Yes, that Renfield, faithful servant to Count Dracula, in a 2-person radio play produced by Wireless Theater Company. Until then, Undertow is a production of Realm, executive produced by Fred Greenhalgh and Molly Barton. The intro and extra theme composed by Marcus Bagala. Thanks for listening, and stay spooky.
Are you looking for your next spooky-themed podcast? Well, Rattled and Shook is a weekly podcast featuring true horror stories sent in by real people. We have guests, themed episodes, and immersive sound design so you can really feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Oh, and we've got a touch of that nostalgic, old-timey radio show charm. Join us. Rattled and Shook is available now wherever you get your podcasts.
When they were young, the 5 members of an elite commando group nicknamed the Stone Wolves raged against the oppressive rule of the Craterakian Empire, which occupies and dominates most of the galaxy's inhabited planets. The Wolves fought for freedom, but they failed, leaving countless corpses in their wake. Defeated and disillusioned, they hung up their guns and went their separate ways, all hoping to find some small bit of peace amidst a universe thick with violence and oppression. 4 decades after their heyday, they each try to stay alive and eke out a living. But a friend from the past won't let them move on, and neither will their bitterest enemy. The Stone Wolves is Season 11 of the Galactic Football League science fiction series by author Scott Sigler. Enjoy it as a standalone story, or listen to the entire GFL series beginning with Season 1, The Rookie. Search for Scott Sigler, Sigler, wherever you get your podcasts.